Welcome back to the Jay Douglas Show. Today we are talking how do you get your buyers and sellers off the fence. This is a tactical video, 3 big things. Make sure you check it out. Glad you joined us today. So today we're talking how do you get your buyers and sellers off of the fence. So if you're watching this for the first time, and if you're watching the show for the first time and you're thinking like, is he going to try to push these buyers and sellers into a world that maybe they're not comfortable with? That's not what I'm saying. It's all about how do we help them discover what they need, solve their problems, get them to that finish line as quickly as possible. So let's get tactical. 3 things I want you to take away from this video today. 1, got a little cheat sheet here. I want you to think, start with yes. You know, the people that solve the biggest problems get paid the most money. So sometimes it's just the people that solve more problems make more money. So I want you to have a start with yes mentality. We'll talk about that. Number 2, people thrive off of facts. How do they understand what's a fact? It's a chart, it's a graph, it's a visual of some sorts. We're going to talk about investing into maybe a little bit of time that you could leverage all year long. And then number 3, lastly, we all know what FOMO is, fear of missing out, right? Sometimes we got to create a little FOMO. So it's not smoke and mirrors. It's literally just communicating with them enough so they understand when they're missing out and when they need to pounce. So these 3 things, let's dive in. Number 1, start with yes. So one of the things that I learned from one of my greatest mentors was, I started thinking like, what's the goal? What's the challenge? And stuff in my own personal life. And the thing that kept coming back to me over and over again was start with yes and work it backwards. Too often we have a negative mindset, right? It's all in our heads. Think about our consumers, all the fears, all the challenges, and you have to be their coach. Think about it that way. The buyer and the seller wants to get from A to Z. They don't know how to do it. They need a coach. You should literally start your conversation with the person that's on the fence is saying, so let's get really clear here. What is the goal? If you could wave the magic wand, as they say, and you could make everything just absolutely perfect, tell me exactly what it would look like. Have the consumer describe the journey that they hope they're going to go through. If they're a seller, they're probably concerned about where they're going to move to and timing and how are they going to move out and are they in a moving truck for 2 days or what does that look like? And if they're a buyer, they're probably thinking about money or rent or getting out of their last house. We have all those scenarios. Have them paint the picture, take notes. Everybody loves when you take notes because it means that you are paying attention, you care. And then after you take all those notes, repeat back the order to them. It's like we go into a restaurant. It's always really impressive when the person, takes the 8 people's reservation or the 8 people's at the table, all their food orders and their drink orders and everything. And they walk away and everybody's like, they're not going to get it right because they tried to do it with memory. And you know what? It's always a surprise and it's entertaining when they show up and it's right. But there's so much anxiety to have that your order is going to get messed up. Everybody loves when they write it down, right? So write it down, repeat the order back to them, and then literally say, so Mr. and Mrs. Customer, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with yes and work this problem backwards. So I want you to think a couple things. Think discovery, options, action, with accountability, okay? So starting with yes, I want you to literally think, just go through discovery. Have them tell you exactly what they want. Lay out logical options. What's the worst case scenario, the best case scenario, and the most likely scenario? Action plan. Have them choose what they would like to pick most likely to happen. And then ask what type of accountability that they would like from you, their agent, to make sure we stay on track. All you're doing is creating a game plan by starting with yes. So, number 2, people thrive off of facts. They want to know, they want the charts, they want the graphs, they want all the visuals that let them know exactly what's happening in the marketplace or their neighborhood. So one of the cheat sheets I'm going to give you is a friend of ours, Keeping Current Matters. Bill and Steve Harney, they've done a great job about putting tons and tons and tons of content out in the world for the real estate industry, and you get to totally rip it off. It's a great company. All they do is they pull stats and stats and stats so you can have it. And what's interesting, if you look at a lot of the stats that they're providing on a national level, it talks about inventory, it talks about interest rates, it helps you understand what a recession is, because a lot of people are operating out of fear right now. They don't understand what the facts are. So what I would recommend is go find your resource, National Association of Realtors, your company, Keeping Current Matters, whatever it may be. Get some ideas on a national level, but here's the thing. Your market's local. It's about your neighborhood. So it's just a draft that I think you should steal and then rip off and then bring it down to a local level. Create your own stats. Now, source them properly, be very clear, let everybody know where you got the information from, but let people understand what the facts are. A lot of times it's about maximize, minimize. We're looking at it micro or macro. Sometimes it's start with the big data and then break it down really, really small. I'll give you an example. In our marketplace right now, I'm going to make up some fake numbers here. Let's say that there's currently 3,000 homes that are active on the MLS, while there's 2,500 that are currently under contract. Just literally showing those two numbers alone is going to make a client think like, that's interesting. How their reaction is when they see that, when you show it to them, will allow you to figure out where do you need to go next. But then break it down to, this is the MLS. Here's what's in the county. Here's what's in your zip code. Here's what's in your neighborhood that you're looking in. Break it down so they understand what's happening. Show stats. Do comparable sales, I guess you could call it. The CMAs, as we call it. Do those stats and let them see it. But start with your own slide deck. So just invest a little bit of time that you can use on all your clients to share with them facts that are maybe good for a solid year or quarterly. But it's just great content you can have in your back pocket to educate the consumer. Because guess what they want? Education. They just want to be taught. So number 2, make sure you're giving them the facts, the charts, the graphs. They thrive off of those facts, right? Number three, daily check-ins. Daily check-ins. Now, obviously we can't check in with every single client. But the ones that are your hot prospects that are on the fence, because this whole video is about being on the fence, for those clients that are on the fence right now, if you know they're ready to do something, I want you to think daily check-ins. Now, this is going to come into play with number 1, where we said start with yes, ending with accountability. Let them know what you're going to do for them. And maybe a daily check-in, maybe it's as simple as just a text message and letting them know. But more importantly, what I want you to do is I want you to paint the real story. And in today's market, that's going to create FOMO, fear of missing out, as they say, right? And all you want to do is you want to let them know, let's say they're a buyer, for example. Hey, just checking in with you, wanted to let you know I've skimmed the whole MLS today. We looked at the for sale owners, we door knocked a neighborhood, and there were no homes available that fit what you were looking for right now today. Want to let you know I'm still working for you. Day number 2. Hey guys, just letting you know, again, text message or phone call, whatever works for you. Even better, a video, maybe with like, you whiteboarded the whole thing. You got a list of things happening behind you. Like, these are the things I'm doing. Want to let you know there's no more houses out there for you right now. There's no fit. Maybe if it's a seller, you're saying, hey, just wanted to let you know there are homes that fit, like they're similar to your home, but they've either gone under contract and the buyer didn't come to you, or maybe you have a very unique home, or it's out in maybe an interesting area and no other similar homes have sold like yours, so we're not missing out. You're just giving them information. Because what happens is when you give them that information on a regular basis, they're going to start to wonder, like, what's going on? How come the market's not changing? Or maybe it's moving so fast, like they're like realizing, like, dang, I'm missing out on that house. Because guess what? One day you're going to call them and you say, I got the perfect house. They're not going to move fast enough. And you're going to get to call them the next day and say, that one's gone. But daily check-ins, giving them sometimes the unfortunate news, is going to build up the opportunity for when the day comes and it's like the perfect scenario's here. And you get to actually pick up the phone and call and say, hey, this was not text worthy. I wanted you to know that this is what's happening in your marketplace right now. Here's the house of your dreams. Or a buyer entered the marketplace and we know exactly what they're looking for and it's now time to get your home on the market. Whatever it may be, it all comes down to reoccurring information over and over and over and over again. They'll start to have that fear of loss. My perfect scenario is not out there. And when you surprise them with it, they're ready to jump off of that fence. So 3 big tips today. I hope you took something away. Throw in the comments kind of what you're thinking, like what challenges are you facing? And I'd be glad to give you some more tips. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Hey guys, Doug Edrington here, CEO of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, J. Douglas Properties in Chattanooga, Tennessee. If you were thinking about getting in this business right now, I want to communicate with you. I want to get a conversation going. Also, maybe you're already in the business and you're like, man, I'm tired of trying to figure this out on my own. I'm here for you. I want to help. I'm looking for people to grow this business to the next level, and it's going to take people just like you who like this kind of stuff. So do me a favor, click on the link and let me know what you want to talk about. We'll have a conversation, connect right away.